This week, Samsung is flipping and folding again. Amazon is paying customers. Let me start over. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is going to be a fun episode. Okay, let's try again. This week, Samsung is flipping and folding again. Amazon is paying customers, and Reddit is valued over $10 billion. Those are some of the tech. You heard that right. $10 billion. Those are some of the tech news stories from this week, and it's Friday, August 13th. Maybe that's probably why this is going to be interesting.
Yes, it is Friday the 13th. Yeah. And I'm going to add to that. It's Friday the 13th, and headed at me is a tropical storm named Fred.
Oh boy.
So I got right. Freddy Krueger headed my direction on Friday the 13th. None of this is good.
And I saw the meme on Twitter about it. 2021.
I think you mean 2020 version 2.
Right. Right. My name is Kirk Corliss.
And I'm Scott Ertz.
And it's episode 94, hopefully, of GNC Week in Review podcast, proud partner of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. We are streaming live on GNCweekly.com/live. So please be sure to say hello in chat or comment. Also, be sure to like and subscribe to the GNC WIR channel on YouTube. If you missed the video, you can always catch the replay later. If you are a new listener, please be sure to subscribe to the podcast, where you can find on the right-hand side column at GNCweekly.com. Be it Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app. If you have a comment, be it on social media or email, and those links can be found at GNCweekly.com/connect. Okay, so a couple things up the top. We got word from the Podcast Awards that neither our podcast nor F5 Live, F5 Refreshing Technology did not get on a nominating slate for the Podcast Awards. However, Christopher Jordan, who is part of our CES broadcast team, did get nominated for Suds and Beer. Now it's Dudes and Beer. Excuse me, Dudes and Beer. What?
It's not going to be the name of the show by the end of the year, but that's okay. It's currently called Dudes and Beer. It is. Right. It's a lot of fun. I've been on it twice. Todd's been on it once. It's a fun show. We get to talk about all kinds of things. I've talked about podcast advertising, and there's a guy who was on talking about Bigfoot. So it's a fun show. You never quite know what the topics are going to be. But yeah. So if you went in and nominated us, we appreciate it. Yes. If you happen to be chosen as one of the official voters, please, under the news category, choose Dudes and Beer. That's our Tech Podcast Network representative. That's not the show that's TPN, but that's okay. Yep. That's our representative in there. So definitely vote for him. And then go check out his show, dudesandbeer.com, I think. If that's not it, search for Dudes and Beer and or Curious Realms.
That's the name. That's the new name. Curious Realms.
Is going to be the new name. It's going to be cool.
Yep.
The group has already changed names, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I haven't been on a podcast, and I have listened to a few episodes, and they're very interesting interviews and a lot of great discussions about various things going on in the world, and
very different from this show.
Yes, it's not even tech related, and but it's very unique content, good content, and he delivers each and every week. So kudos to him.
One of the members of the group is apparently somehow involved in the reopening of the Tiger King trial. It is a weird group of people, and I love it. When I do open Facebook, which is infrequent, and I see a weird story, I can guarantee that it was shared in that group.
Oh, likewise. I
Oh,
try to.
the sun might explode before Tuesday. Well, that must be in the Dudes and Beer group.
Yeah, I tend to share a few things, and he's got a lot of the stuff that I was like really shocked about, that he posts, and I'm like, I'm you, I'm on it for maybe 5 minutes a day, if that. And the other times I look at, different groups and what have you, and I post stuff on our page and what have you, or plug it's as well. But he puts out some really, really, really great content. So I have to give him a lot of kudos. So congratulations. I'm gonna throw my support in as well. So please, whoever's on the podcast awards committee or the group of many listeners and podcasters, please put in your vote. And hopefully, and definitely, we're going to go ahead with next year. There's always next year. So we're definitely going to try it again, but we still thank you. We still thank you for listening and watching. We've got a lot of new subscribers slowly coming in, which is great. You guys are awesome. And we all appreciate your support. And speaking of which, we're episode 94. So 6 episodes away from 100. So we're in the process of a new intro, new graphics for the website, things of that nature. I'm still looking at a couple things. Scott's helping me with that as well, since he's our co-host, our co-host and everything. So we're definitely gonna have a lot of good. So it's gonna be awesome for episode 100. I'm super excited about that. And lastly, I wanted to share some really good news that I'm in the process of getting a guest. I cannot mention the name yet, nor the company yet. I've been trying to get this company and this person for 3 years to come onto the podcast and or interview at CES. So I got an email a few days ago.
It's not Meg Whitman.
Right. No.
I'm going to continue to talk about that.
I know you are. I know you are. No, it's not that. I can't say it's not Meg Whitman. But I am
person down, $7.5 billion to go.
Right.
It's not Todd.
No, it's not Todd. Actually, right. It's not two. It's not Todd. It's hopefully maybe Chris. I can bring maybe Chris. He's welcome to come on if he's listening. But yeah, I got an email from this person's executive assistant. And she told me she'll follow up with me, over the next couple months. So I am definitely looking forward to it. So hopefully, fingers crossed. So hopefully before CES happens, hopefully it'd be great. It'd be on our last episode of the year on December 14th. Hopefully, if it's before then, that's fine, but I would love to nail that down, be prime for CES 2022. So, but more news will happen, and if anything develops between now and then, we will definitely keep you all posted on that. So that is it. And
I would say we've also got the download. So
right.
So Plunkets Live in partnership with So our editorial staff, our writers, our hosts, as well as our partners, GNC Week in Review, all the TPN shows, Tom's Hardware, we will be launching a new kind of a newsletter, but not really. What we're going to do is every month we're calling it the monthly download to go along with the upstream, which is our regular news section. The monthly download will be a single topic that's a big topic. So let's say if we were to put one out right now, it would probably be about the Apple scanning all the devices on your iPhone, iPad, and Mac OS devices, looking for specific content. Too big of a topic for us to really cover here. Too old of a topic for me to cover on the other show. So what we'll do is we'll put it all together in one big thing. There will be a short article. There will be quotes on my feelings and Avram's and Michelle's and Danielle's and Kirk's and Todd's. We're going to put all that together, plus people outside of our circle. So direct quotes from Apple, direct quotes from the privacy groups that are about to sue Apple.
Right.
All of that stuff, and links out to other articles that cover it in different ways, some positive, some negative. That's the whole goal. It's going to be entirely textual. It will be 100% free. You cannot sign up now. I'm working on the landing page, but the landing page will be plughitslive.com/the-download. And if you go there, in the next couple of days, you'll be able to sign up for that newsletter, which we're really excited about. We've got a new marketing team that we're working with. Somebody, actually, if you've been following along with our coverage for a long time, you might actually recognize Kagan from Collision, I think 2018. I think it was our last year in New Orleans. He was one of our guests, and his company is now doing a bunch of marketing stuff for me, and I'm very excited about it. So this is our first big initiative. There will be more coming. Super excited about it. It's a great way to bring all the TPN stuff together, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We've talked about doing stuff like this, and I figured, let's get started. It doesn't have to be on the TPN brand. We are all friends off air.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So we can bring TPN and some of the, it's not called Perch anymore. It's called Future. So Tom's Hardware, Tom's Guide, Laptop Mag, because if it makes sense, we can get stuff from Cherie. So it should be a lot of fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm also testing out some new technology. I'm testing out an AI-powered copywriter.
Ooh.
Yeah. So some of the articles on our site are going to be written directly by me word for word. Some of them are going to be written by AI and then heavily edited by me or Michelle or somebody. And then there will be some that will be entirely AI written. I want people to give me feedback on them. Because I don't know. I don't know what I think yet. I've been messing around with it. It's
cool.
It's interesting.
Okay.
So
yep, I'm definitely in. We're definitely in. And I'll definitely put it in. Yeah. And if the listeners are of Geek News Central, the podcast on Monday night, Todd went through an extensive, I wouldn't say rant. Well, yeah, I guess I can say rant. I mean, and for valid reasons. And it was there's a lot of twists and turns, and I was going to put it in our episode, but it's long, it's detailed, and
topic.
It is, and it's so much, and there's other stuff that happened.
And Todd handled it well. Todd covered a lot of the content. So if you've heard a little bit about it, you want to kind of hear what we think. I mostly agree with Todd's opinions on this type of thing. So chances are I'm 100% with him on this one.
Yeah, likewise.
So definitely check that out at geeknewscentral.com.
Yeah. Yeah, it was on Monday's episode. So if you haven't downloaded it yet or caught you can catch a replay also as well. So yeah, it's a long, and I agree with a lot of I agree with you, Todd. On most of pretty much all of what he said, and it was a 20-minute long discussion, or I wouldn't say discussion because only one person, but monologue. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, it was a great thing, and I'm definitely all in, and I'll definitely put my thoughts in as well. So, and when Scott gets me more information, it'll be posted up on a Twitter page, our Facebook page, and we'll post things up on our site as well when things get rolling. So check it out. All right. So with that in mind, we're going to jump in with the tech news this week. First in the news is Samsung had its Samsung Unpacked event on Wednesday. It was recorded, it was not live, and they announced 4 devices, which begs the question, why? The first one they announced was the Galaxy Z Fold 3. This is foldable, includes an under-display camera when it's not in use. The Fold 3's internal selfie shooter will attempt to blend it with the screen. While I can still see the component, particularly if your eyes drift to that part of the display, it helps make the device feel more like a traditional tablet. I saw the presentation. It looked pretty cool. And speaking of tablets, you can use Samsung's S Pen stylus with the Galaxy Fold 3. The company on the presentation, they devoted an entire segment of its event, detailed the time and effort invested to make the two compatible with one another. The $50 S Pen Fold Edition and S Pen Pro feature rounder tips that automatically retract if you apply too much pressure to the Fold 3's internal display. Samsung also made the screen protector 80% stronger. Now you have these upgrades, and there's a more capable cover display, and the addition of IPX8 rated waterproofing. Samsung plans to sell it for $1,799.99, or basically rounding up to $1,800. You can pre-order the Galaxy Fold now before it goes on sale on August 27th. So we're going to dissect that later because there's more. There's the Galaxy Z Flip 3. They plan to sell their latest clamshell foldable for $999 when it comes out on August 27th. That's a $200 price cut from the $1,200 Samsung started selling the Galaxy Flip 5G at the start of 2021, and puts it more in line with other high-end phones. Galaxy also outlined the Flip 3 with a more usable cover display that is 4 times larger than one found on its predecessor. That means that there's more room for notifications and widgets, and you can do things like access Android quick settings menu and Samsung Pay without opening the device. Then there's the Galaxy Watch 4 and Watch 4 Classic, where its Wear OS is powered by Samsung. And speaking to the hardware, Samsung added a 3-in-1 bioactive sensor that can measure your body fat percentage, a new 5mm processor, and 50% more RAM. There's what's more is the more expensive Watch 4 Classic features the return of the company's much-loved rotating bezel. The Watch 4 and Watch 4 Classic will start at $249 and $349 when they hit shore sales on August 27th. And lastly, it is not bad a price at all. And then lastly, there's the Galaxy Buds 2, where they announced the Galaxy Buds 2 for $150. They're smaller and lighter than the Galaxy Buds Plus, and includes active noise cancellation with the ANC feature. You have access to 3 adjustable ambient sound levels. Samsung also added a machine learning feature that will filter out noises when you're using the Buds 2 to talk to someone over the phone. So dissecting all the products. Now, when I was watching the presentation, they said that this is the one of the I can't remember his person's name. He said that this is going to be the Z Fold 3 is going to be the standard of smartphones. I find that incredibly hard to believe because
it's $1,800,
right? But
we'll start there,
right? But also, I have seen in my comings and goings, probably I know with your love with the Microsoft Surface Duo. But
can't wait to see the 2 in action.
But my whole thing is that I've seen in the comings and goings, I've never seen people in the United States. I don't know. I'm probably overseas is different, but in the U.S. or where I am, we're going through comes and goings, where I don't see people with a foldable phone. I see people with iPhones. I see people with Samsung devices. They didn't announce the Note was absent this year, and I think the Note was absent for the last 2 years, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe they announced that the Note was over.
Oh, okay, it's over. Oh, okay,
or at least they highly suggested that it was over.
Mm-hmm.
That the 20 might have been the last one.
Okay, so no, it was but they had the S21, and there was the S21. So with that being said, is it really like they're saying that it's going to be the standard, but is it really? I mean, they're not really doing that. It's not a really firm market for foldables.
Yeah, I'll tell you. that when people see my Duo or Alante's Duo, because he's got one now too, when they see them out in the wild, they get real excited about it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I think for two reasons. One, because people generally haven't seen a foldable out in the wild. Mm-hmm. Most people haven't. Just like you said, I very rarely see them out in the wild, other than the ones that I'm responsible for people having. But I think also in that case, they are seeing something that they're not expecting, because I think everybody's uncomfortable with the folding screen.
Mm-hmm.
There were too many problems in the beginning. It really left a sour taste in people's mouths. Mm-hmm. And so I think a lot of people went, I don't know if this is ready for prime time.
Right.
But when they see mine, that's not trying to do something special, that's just trying to be the best at what it does, they're like, oh, well, that seems like a better idea. So that's a problem that I think they need to deal with. They've got a marketing concern. And obviously this is going to apply to both of them, right? This is going to apply to both of the Zs. That they have a marketing problem. They've got a perception issue with the technology that generally people don't want to mess with. And that's not great for sales.
Right. Right.
I live in this space and I'm not comfortable with the technology yet.
I've been having, I couldn't rationalize myself as a smartphone user to purchase a foldable, because it's not really, I mean, I could do everything on one screen, and they were touting that you can use the, split the screen. You can, if you're multitasking, watching a video and doing something else, or you want to purchase something, you could do things, on each side. I just don't really see the value of it, where I can do everything on one phone, and all the productivity apps that you can use. I just can't, and I can't get over the price tag.
Yeah, that's obviously a problem. $1,800 is going to be, especially when we're dealing with a technology that people are already uncomfortable with. Adding a high price tag on top of it is not going to make people more likely to purchase it.
That's a price of a laptop or a low end desktop.
Yeah, you can get a decent desktop for that.
Exactly. I mean, and also too with the with the Flip, that's something, again. I mean, back in the day, and my wife had it, we talked about it before, about she had the Motorola Razr. She loved that Razr phone. And I know they came one out. I think they came out with one. I think it was this last year, wasn't it? There was one that came out.
There were two.
Okay. I thought there were, all right. There was two. All right.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if the second one ever hit the market, to be fair.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, but
they've announced two. Let me say that.
Right.
I don't remember ever seeing an actual release announcement for the second one.
No, I thought, okay, so you're probably, you're right, because I thought it was one, but you're probably right. It is two. I just can't see, again, the need for a flip phone where majority of our people are on iPhone, or Samsung or Google phones.
Yeah.
The
idea of being able to put it in a back pocket and not have it sticking way up over the top is attractive.
Right.
But they're not that unthick.
Right.
It's thick enough that it's a problem. Not so thick that it wouldn't work, because I put my Duo in my back pocket sometimes. So I mean, it's not so thick that it doesn't work. but
Right.
it's definitely thicker than would be happy. There was a second one that came out.
Okay. Okay. You probably
September of last year.
okay.
They just called it the new Razor. They didn't they didn't put a number on it.
Right.
So anyway, I had to look it up because that was going to bother me.
Right. Yeah, and I just put my phone in my back pocket, but I also but also the danger is not sitting on it and
destroying the screen.
Exactly. But yeah, I just don't see I honestly don't see a need in this market, right, in the smartphone market, because Apple is toying with it. I don't know if any others. I don't think Google isn't coming out with one. They haven't even. I know that
there's not even really been rumors about them thinking about one.
Right. Let's see who else. Sony has Xperia line. They haven't come out with one, or even talk of one.
Right.
Who else? LG's gone. Not LG. Yeah, LG's gone. So, yeah, I mean, that's basically really, well, there's a few out there that I can't really put my,
there's what's left of HTC.
Right. Okay. Right. I forgot. Yeah, HTC. Yeah. So, I mean, but again, Samsung's like all in, with these foldable phones. And when you look at the market share, I've been seeing reports that, it's Apple's up front, and then Google. Samsung is like kind of like in the top 3, but as far as their smartphone market and their devices is concerned, it's either the S20 the S21 or the S series and the Notes. That's it.
Yeah, the Z's haven't made any kind of an impression statistically, and so I mean, obviously Samsung sees something that the rest of us don't. But again, they have a perception issue that they've got to get around. Otherwise, there's nothing they can do about it. You know what I mean? They're never going to do anything of value if they can't deal with this perception issue.
Right. And for that one guy to say, he did say, came out and said, this is the standard for smartphones. I was like, you have got to be, what are you on? And if so, can I have some? What do you,
right?
He said that. I'm like, are you serious? Are you honestly going to sit there, stand in front of the camera and say that with authority? You've got to be on something.
Yeah, it's definitely a weird statement. Now, the statement that they might be making is, we considered the Note to be our flag bearer. And now we're shifting that to the Z. If that's what they're saying, it's an interesting claim.
Yeah.
And remember, the Note struggled the first couple of generations too.
Right.
So maybe they're going, well, the Note had trouble. I mean, Todd had some things to say about the first generation of that.
Ooh, we did.
They handed in one at CES. He had some things to say about that first one, but they got better. They stopped trying to do that rounded edge nonsense. What a dumb idea that was. And so there were dumb ideas they had to work out in the beginning, right? That rounded, that one corner that rounded over for notifications, dumb. Because your hand was always on it. You were always doing things you didn't want to do. Huge problem. But they worked that out, and then the Note took off. Maybe they're hoping the same thing happens here. But the thing they've got to work out is people not being comfortable with the technology. Because all people can remember is, and gadgets broke after 900 flips.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did also say that the spring is, I think it said 10% more stronger, or the aluminum, I think it was a 10%. Yeah, it was like they were like really like hardcore on that.
Well, that's still 990 flips.
Right. Right.
Some people will do that by the time they get home from the store.
Right.
So they've got some things they've got to deal with, perception wise, because I don't think that that's a problem anymore. But I've still got a sour taste, and so I know the general public must. So
right, but
that's going to be their problem.
But does it go to the point to what we said before? You know, with these products, or they're coming out with these new products again, throwing something against the wall and see if it sticks. Is that what Samsung's trying to do? We're going to like try it the first time. We're going to try it the second. We're going to try it again. We're now doing it for the third time now. So was it like third time's a charm?
Well, in fairness, it is Microsoft's general business model too.
Right. Touche.
Oh, the Surface Duo didn't do well. I've got an idea. Double down. Let's make a second one. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate that at least this time the operating system's not going to get its knees taken out from under it.
Mm-hmm.
Since it's Android. But still, I mean, it's not great.
I'm just kind of curious with your thoughts, and because you're headphone/earbud gurus. I'm curious about your thoughts about because I'm not really a heavy in earbuds. More headphones. I like so I'm kind of curious what you're thinking about the new the Galaxy Buds 2 earbuds.
I didn't like the first ones.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't find them comfortable. But I generally don't find earbuds comfortable. Which I know if you're watching the video, that might seem surprising. But
right.
in-ear monitors like I'm wearing here are very different from earbuds.
Yeah.
They've got their custom fit. But no, I generally don't like earbuds. I've got a pair in here somewhere that I really like. That's true wireless. They're the only ones I've ever liked. They're from Edifier. And I know, sorry, Noel, Monster hasn't produced one that I find comfortable yet either. But yeah, the Edifier ones are the only ones that I've been able to wear long term. Mm-hmm. And the Samsung were not a close second, I can tell you that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I don't know. I'd have to see him in action. I don't know. But again, I'm not a great judge because I generally hate earbuds. There have been about 3 or 4 in my entire life that I've found that I like. And one of them was because the head of engineering sent me a box of all kinds of different ear tips to go along with it. Like, these are the 3 that come in it. And here's 24 more. Find the ones that you like the best.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of.
But you're not going to get that, right? As a consumer, you're not going to get that. I just so happen to know the head of development for the company.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that came with it, I hate it as much as I always do. So.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of earbuds either. And I tried several. I tried Sony and a few others, and for whatever reason, and maybe it has something to do with my ear anatomy or my ear.
That's my problem.
Like I put them in. I adjust them just right, even with the ear tips, regardless of what size they are. For some reason, they pop out like a cork bottle pops its cork off. I don't get it. So I just can't. I really don't. So I'm happy with headphones. They're very comfortable. I have my Sony VX. I can't remember the name of these. VX1000, I think it is. I'm happy with them, but earbuds for some reason don't really. So I'm not really, I'm just saying no to earbuds, but Samsung's really going all in with with these products, but I'm just questioning again. I'm still questioning the
wisdom,
the why they're coming out once again with with the flip phone and foldable phone. So
yeah.
So we'll see what happens and about it. Okay. All right. Other news this week. Staff writer Jen Thorpe from geeknewshunter.com is reporting that Amazon announced that they are entering their A to Z guarantee to protect customers in the unlikely event of a defective product sold through Amazon causing property damage or personal injury, regardless of who sells it. Amazon stated in a post on their website that the company will directly pay customers for claims under $1,000, which Amazon says accounts for more than 80% of cases, at no cost to sellers. Amazon also says it may step in to pay claims in higher accounts if the seller is unresponsive or rejects a claim that Amazon believes to be valid. Jen's also noting that another interesting thing from Amazon's post is mentioning of the Amazon Insurance Accelerator. According to Amazon, quote, sellers have long been required to obtain product liability insurance. Amazon reported that it worked with an insurance broker to create Amazon Insurance Accelerator and that sellers only pay for the cost of the insurance itself. So
interesting.
Yeah. And I don't usually, when I buy something from Amazon and they put that pop up about their insurance, I don't get it. I don't buy it.
But it's interesting that Amazon is providing liability insurance for the sellers, and that there's now a store level product guarantee that even if the manufacturer or the seller let you down up to $1,000, they'll take care of it. And above $1,000, my guess is they're going to go knock on the seller's door and say, we need a check.
Right.
Or we're taking your store down.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, we've seen other retailers with essentially the equivalent of a no questions asked return policy. Alante and I were talking about the other day. Walmart used to, Radio Shack used to. If you brought back a product, if you took a shoe into a Radio Shack, they'd give you money back for it, which was a terrible idea. But this is a little different. It's the same general idea that the retailer is going to take care of it,
right? Even
if the manufacturer or the seller doesn't. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, awesome on that. All right, next up, Verizon's BlueJeans telehealth subsidiary has announced a new integration with Apple Health that lets patients share their health data with healthcare providers during a telehealth consultation with the company. Verizon BlueJeans has developed a new app that features this information during a virtual health visit. On a single screen, you can see a video of the person you're speaking with, along with a short note relating to your health concerns and data drawn from the Apple Health app. The app supports information and document sharing and lets the health practitioners zoom into data shared with them in order to gain deeper insight into trends. Apple is saying, quote, having meaningful conversations with a doctor about everyday activities during a visit is a key part of managing health, but it can be difficult to remember the details. This is when they are announcing the new sharing plans. With user permission, the health app, can keep track of valuable information, helping bridge the gap of what a person experiences between clinic appointments. I'm sorry, I know that there's great apps for it, but there's no way I'm going to have sharing data, and this goes back to the privacy thing as well, and you're adding Verizon's BlueJeans app to have that information, and God knows what they're going to do with it.
Yeah.
So
there's too many middlemen in this.
Exactly. And to have if any information that you share with your doctor about whatever, and they have a history, when you go to your doctor's office, they have a history in their office, and it's confidential. If you want to know, they look at your past history. They always ask you, how's your cholesterol, blood levels, different factors on your health. That should be shared with you and your doctor, not having information on an app and then having another app integrated that. Then God knows where that's going to go with that.
So it depends, obviously, on what kind of data we're talking about. if we're talking about general heart rate,
Mm-hmm.
which just so happens that for the first time in months, I'm wearing this stupid thing.
Mm.
I'm doing a test, so it just so happens that I'm wearing this on the night we're talking about it. So this keeps track of heart rate and calories burned and things like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. Yeah,
maybe some people in the app will keep track of their weight once a week or whatever. Okay, that's
fair.
But yeah, so basically the general nothings, right? Weight and maybe diet, blood pressure, whatever,
right?
General nothings,
right?
But I don't know what additional mentioning documents makes me uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That especially with the topic we're not talking about, with Apple now scanning photos and documents on your phone,
right?
That makes me super uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like the world's worst time to announce something like this, as Apple is coming under fire for part of this. Seems like the world's worst time to make this announcement.
Right. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to, because I was going to put it in, but it's long and it's lengthy, and we'll be on. Well, this will be a 2-hour episode, and
at least.
So, and that's why I wanted to.
Which is where the whole idea for the download comes from.
Exactly.
Because Abram and I would have the exact same problem.
Right. Yeah, there's so many different things with it, and so and when they say this quote from Apple, the quote from Apple is saying having meaningful conversation with doctor about everyday activities, but difficult to remember the details. When you go to your doctor and your doctor will ask you, okay, well, here's how your blood pressure is, here's how your cholesterol is, you have too much iron in your diet, what have you. Yeah. That's all with your doctor. It's with your doctor one-on-one. The doctor makes their notes or transcribes or uses their, I'm thinking of they had back in the day when they spoke in a tape recorder.
Sure.
Dictation, right. So it's like, so they have all that. So next time you go to the doctor, they'll say, okay, well, let's follow up what happened last time, et cetera. Right. But using an app integrating with 2 apps, not just 1 app.
Yeah.
2.
Multiple layers. Because for me, the ability to hand the phone over to the doctor and say, here are my numbers.
Mm.
I'm fine with that. In as much as I usually wear this thing 45 minutes a week. It's the world's most expensive short-term fitness band. But fine. Here's some numbers. You can see what my general heart rate is. You can see my sleep patterns. All of that. I'm fine with all of that. Mm-hmm. I don't want Verizon involved in it. I don't want T-Mobile involved in it. I don't want.
Right.
I'm not particularly happy that Apple's involved in it, to be perfectly honest. But at least if you end up with, one of these watches and a phone, at least you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
To go through something like this, I don't know who else is involved.
Right.
And that's a problem.
Yep. So that's something that I'm definitely going to, when this newsletter comes out, remind me my thoughts on this, because
this may not be our first, Apple may not be our topic.
Okay, well,
it might be a little while before the first one comes out.
Okay, fair enough. But at least I'll make the record known, my strong adamant feelings about this.
I have generally not been a proponent of telehealth as a whole. Mm-hmm. The last 18 months has certainly made it more important, and has made more people comfortable with the idea. It has ironically made me less comfortable with the idea over the last 18 months.
Right.
Because I want to be able to better look a person in the eye.
Exactly.
Find out if they're, because we've seen too many medical professionals on all sides of the conversation in the last 18 months making stuff up. So
Right.
It seems like every doctor, just everybody involved in the medical world these days, just makes up numbers.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it in press conferences. So
right.
I want to be able to look somebody in the eye to have a better idea about whether or not they're lying to me or just making something up.
Right. And
so
I had
further away from a trust in telehealth over the last 18 months.
I agree. I'm the same way, but because I had a doctor's appointment about a couple months ago, and he wanted to do a telehealth. I couldn't do it. I'm on the computer 7.5 hours a day. It's like and you're right, for 18 months I couldn't do it. I want to see the doctor in person, because it's kind of hard to, like, when you're talking to your doctor, seeing someone via video or phone, or talking to a doctor on the phone, you don't know the physical nuances and and emotions you're feeling. You really cannot express, and they're asking you to turn or check your blood pressure or body up and down. I just couldn't do it. I can't. I can't do that.
I'm gonna go a slightly different direction. I'm gonna go back to your concerns with the Amazon custom fit clothing.
Oh boy.
And I'm gonna say, I don't know what's happening with this video. I can't pay attention to it. What's happening right here, I know everywhere it's going. But even if StreamYard is doing something weird with it in the background, I don't care.
Right.
Because there's nothing private or personal happening right now.
That's true.
So if they're pulling this and saving it forever, theoretically they only save it for 14 days. Because it would be stupid expensive for them to store every video. As we know, the cost of storage.
Right.
So that would be really, really expensive. But even if they did, I don't care. There's nothing personal or private happening here. But if you're talking to a doctor, it's all personal and private. And I don't know who's in the middle of that. Is Amazon in the middle? Is Microsoft? Is Google? Who's in the middle? Who's facilitating the video chat? I don't know. Not interested.
Yeah. That's
for all the same reason that you didn't want to do the Amazon custom fit clothing. Right. I don't want to use a telehealth system.
See, good. And speaking of Amazon, because we're going to dissect on that.
Accident.
No, great segue. So last week's episode, we dissected the news about Amazon offering $10 credit for your fingerprint when using their Palm payment systems in their stores. Now,
that's not Palm the phone, by the way. That's the thing on your hand.
But I'm pumped.
I'd use a payment system that was Palm based.
Right.
But they're dead.
Right. And rest in peace. TechCrunch is reporting that Senators Amy Klobuchar, Bill Cassidy, and John Ossoff has sent a letter to new Amazon CEO, Andy Jassy. So he's starting off really well.
Welcome to the fire, buddy.
Right. Who's asking him to explain how the company might expand use of one's palm print system beyond stores like Amazon Go and Whole Foods. Now, if you remember on our last episode, basically, if they offer you a $10 credit if you put your thumb, your fingerprint when purchasing products. And Scott and I were discussing that, the inquiring about, well, why, there's not a need for that data. So these senators are concerned about
scary.
Right. They're also worried about the biometric payment data that we talked about in last episode that might be used for more payments, such as for ads or tracking. So those senators are speaking our language. Right.
You don't say. Amazon might track people? Huh. They've never done that before. Oh, no, wait. That's the basis of their business. I apologize. I got confused.
Right. So they're also the politicians are also concerned that Amazon One reportedly uploads palm print data to the cloud, creating a quote unique security issues. The move also the senators also are saying that the move is also casting doubt on Amazon's quote respect for user privacy. So they're like, they must listen to our episode last week. I hope if they did, that's
It
great.
sounds like it, doesn't it?
So if you guys, senators, if you listen to us, thank you, or subscribe to our podcast, thank you.
GNCweekly.com/connect.
Right.
We want to know if we had a part in this.
Right.
We know we didn't. We're not delusional.
Right. We're not. Yeah. If that was the case, then I will be. We'll be extremely happy puppies. In addition to asking about expansion plans, the senators wanted Jassy to outline the number of third-party one clients, the privacy protections for those clients, and their customers, and the size of the one user base. The senators gave Amazon until August 26th to provide an answer. Engadget asked Amazon for comment. They declined to comment. Not rightfully.
No kidding.
Of course, Of course, they wouldn't say no comment. Decline to comment, but pointed to a earlier blog post where it said one Palm images were never stored on device and were sent to encrypted in a quote highly secure cloud space devoted to just one content. So 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks from now, we should know if they're going to respond. And something tells me they're going to play smoke and mirrors. And something tells me there's going to be a committee hearing about it.
Yeah.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. Jassy's going to be in front of Congress next.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, welcome to the fire, bud.
So this is all the questions that, and also the title of the episode was "What the hell's wrong with these people?" So, so this should be "What the hell's wrong with these people?" Part 2.
Yeah, the Redux.
Right.
This time it's personal.
Right. I don't think we have enough room to fit in the show title for that.
What the hell's wrong with these people?
These people, okay. Okay, we can use that. All right.
Somehow it's a different set of people. It's the same problem, but a whole new group of people this week.
Right. All right. So yeah, why not? We can always use that episode. We can always use that title. All right. Other news this week. T-Mobile has launched a pilot offering fiber optic home internet service in New York City. This is according to a report from T-Mo, then confirmed by The Verge. It's testing the service in select Manhattan residential buildings, offering 940 megabits upload and download speeds, along with a Wi-Fi 6 routers, according to the company's new fiber product page. It's using a third-party provider's fiber rather than its own lines, and running the program on a quote very limited pilot. This is from the company is telling The Verge. It added that it will offer more information, quote, if it rolls out more widely. The fiber service being marketed alongside T-Mobile's 5G wireless home internet launched in April. T-Mobile said that service will deliver average download speeds greater than 100 megabits from most new customers, with a minimum 50 megabit speeds. The service is available for around $60 per month to 30 million Americans across 49 states, not including Alaska. Right. And the company recently told investors it was on track to sign 500,000 customers by end of 2021. It's not clear how widespread T-Mobile plans to go with it, and there's also no details on pricing. So this is pretty cool, pretty good. Of course,
it's fascinating that T-Mobile is basically creating an MVNO for internet.
Right.
Especially considering on the actual mobile side, they themselves are not an MVNO. They actually own the whole infrastructure, but for proper home internet, they're going the virtual network operator route, which is fascinating. Don't you wonder who they're piggybacking on? If it's in Manhattan, it would have to be either whoever owns the FiOS brand in that market, which could be, I think, one of three companies. I don't know. It could be Verizon, it could be Frontier, it could be somebody else that they were selling stuff off to, or it could be Spectrum.
Time Warner, right?
Yeah, because Spectrum's got fiber in New York. Interesting.
My leaning is Verizon, because Verizon has a good strong, and I think they dropped more fiber to the home recently within the past year, because they had an agreement with New York City. They had to, in order for them to with the merger to happen, they had an agreement with New York City where they had to commit to a certain amount of households before they can drop it. So they have a really strong hold in New York City. So I'm leaning towards Verizon with their fiber.
Yeah, it's the most logical. But it's always interesting to think about T-Mobile and Verizon teaming up in this kind of a way.
Right.
When it comes to phones, they would just as likely bomb each other's headquarters.
Oh, absolutely.
And yet here, the likelihood is that Verizon is selling bandwidth on residential to T-Mobile. Weird.
Right.
It's like Microsoft and Amazon suing each other over government contracts, but then Microsoft integrating the Amazon App Store into the Microsoft Store on Windows 11. What? Do you like each other or not?
Right.
Consistency.
Right.
That's all I'm asking for. A little consistency.
Yeah. So it'll be pretty cool, and hopefully 5G is. And I always keep saying we got to get 5G more and more places and states, including me, here in Hamilton.
Well, I can tell you with pretty good confidence that that says 5G up there in my corner. I'm sorry, there was an interesting blink that's happening. Oh, that's fun. I can see it's trying to identify my face through the camera and into the screen.
Freaky.
Not gonna work. But I've got 5G, and this is a T-Mobile brand. Here in my weird Faraday cage of a studio, which I can't even get Wi-Fi into the studio in here, and yet I can't get 5G from T-Mobile home internet in the same location.
That's odd and
annoying.
That too. Oh, geez. All right. Well, moving right along. eBay. I have never shopped on eBay in God knows how long. Have you been on eBay recently, or?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I bought a cryptocurrency miner on eBay.
You did? Oh my goodness. If you don't mind me asking, how much?
I think I paid about $450 for it.
Wow.
It mined enough Dogecoin to pay itself back. So
okay. Well, good on you. All right. So
now it's turned off because I don't know. It makes noise.
Oh, jeez. Well, speaking of eBay, which this is really amazing. They delivered mixed second quarter financial results on Wednesday.
The fact that they're mixed and not terrible is honestly pretty impressive.
Yeah, I was stunned.
eBay is not the place I think about for weird stuff like I used to.
Right. Same here. Overall, eBay saw a decline in consumer online spending and active buyers, but the company is seeing growth in its managed payments and advertising businesses. The San Jose, California-based e-commerce company reported second quarter net income of $294 million, or 43 cents per share. Non-GAAP earnings were 99 cents per share on revenue of $2.7 billion, up 14% of the same period last year. Wall Street was looking for earnings of 95 cents per share on revenue of $3 billion. In its financial... Yeah,
a little down on revenue, but a little up on per share.
Right. In its financial release Wednesday, eBay said GMV was down 7% year over year to $22.1 billion. Meanwhile, eBay said annual active buyers declined by 2% for a total of $159 million. Annual active sellers grew by 5% to 19 million globally. Additionally, eBay, which is, again, I was surprised when I saw this news. Yeah. Additionally, eBay says its managed payments business processed 71% of global on-platform volume in the second quarter.
Yeah, they don't own PayPal anymore.
Right, which that's a huge loss. In terms of guidance, eBay said it expects revenue between $2.42 billion. Excuse me,
$2.42 billion.
Thank you. Thank you.
And $2.47 billion.
Thank you, because I'm like, oh, this has been weird.
That's okay. I got you. An adjusted profit between 86 cents to 90 cents per share for the current quarter. Analysts are looking for quarter three revenue of $2.89 billion and EPS of 90 cents.
Thank you, because it was a tongue twister.
Too many numbers. You got confused.
Right.
They got away from you. It happens.
Exactly. When I'm doing the script and the rundown, it's like I'm trying to tie everything together, and it's just it all runs together. Jamie Iannone, if I'm mispronouncing this person's name, I apologize. CEO at eBay says, quote, during the quarter, we hit several important milestones in our ongoing transformation, including the transitions of eBay's classified business, a deal that has already delivered exceptional shareholder value, and the announcement of the sale.
Existed.
I didn't either. This is why I haven't been on eBay for so long.
Is that not what eBay is?
Pretty much. And the announcement about the sale of our Korean business. We're simplifying our portfolio and growing our core while delivering significant shareholder value. Again, I am on eBay.
Korean business.
Yes, I did.
I had to verify. I thought you said like of our Korean business.
Yeah, that's from the CEO himself,
or herself.
Right?
Jamie.
Jamie. Well, it could be a man or woman. So
what we know is it's not Meg Whitman,
right? And it's not the person we're interviewing for this podcast.
No, but Meg Whitman used to be.
Oh, right.
She actually was the CEO of eBay.
Right. Okay. So again, I didn't realize eBay is still
big.
Yeah, and I didn't realize that growth,
that sellers is going up.
Yeah,
makes me want to go open the eBay app and see what kind of weird stuff they're recommending to me, having only looked at it. Okay, they know me better than is possibly safe, because the first thing on the homepage, they're like, hey, might you like a TriCaster with 3 4K cameras? In fact, I might.
Right. I've been on there for God knows how long, because I've been looking. I think I last time I was looking there, I was looking at cameras too, video cameras too. Let me see.
Oh, remote control cameras. Ooh. Oh, with the TriCaster board. Probably a Sony Trinitron. No. They went everything pro, and then they've got this nothing TV. okay, that's not what we're doing. But
No.
yeah, it's definitely, yeah, they've got me pretty well figured out. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little frightened by this. Because they're definitely, the things that are on here, they're like, hey, how about a Surface Pro 3? I've been thinking about one of those for a project. How about a TriCaster with cameras? Yeah. How about a Dance Dance Revolution machine? Yeah. How do you know this? I don't like this. This makes me pretty uncomfortable. How about a Sharp Famicom console? Yeah. It's one of the few I don't have in my collection. What are we doing here?
Oh boy.
The UI has changed a lot though.
Yeah.
From the last time I looked. So obviously they're still putting work into it, which is the whole point, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're still keeping track of the things that would be interesting to me, and they're still right, which is impressive. They're working on the UI. They're keeping it modern and fresh. So they are like keeping on top of the platform.
Yeah.
Much more so than I would have expected at this point, you know?
Right. Yeah, I've been, again, last time I was on eBay, I was checking out video cameras, and I was like, God knows how long. And I've been on Amazon. And Amazon, I can imagine if I pull up my Amazon list, it's going to recommend me pretty much everything that you did, if not more. So, well, good on eBay.
Yeah.
Good on eBay. Awesome. All right. Other news this week. Disney said on Thursday, Disney Plus grew to 116 million subscribers as of July 3rd. That's more than double a year earlier. But it also means Disney Plus added 12.4 million new members since earlier this year, while the service was releasing new episodes of popular shows like Marvel series The Falcon and The Winter Soldier and Loki, and streamed its last Pixar movie, Luca. Disney also noted that Hulu subscribers grew to 42.8 million and that ESPN Plus membership rose to 14.9 million. Disney estimates Disney Plus will have between 230 million and 260 million global subscribers by the time the service is 5 years old in late 2024. So
that's a lot of growth. They hit that, and I know they did it already, but I mean, the fact that Disney Plus grew to 100 plus million so quickly, because their goal was to do it in 2022. And they're already at 116. They definitely had faster growth than they were prepared for, I think. And I mean, there's been struggle with that, right? Technologically, there's been struggle. There have been, when something new comes out, sometimes the service chokes. So, you know, when I was watching a thing a couple weeks ago. Oh, and I think we talked about it on the show last week, where they were talking about how sometimes you can grow too fast, and it can end up hurting. And I think that's a little bit has happened with them because Disney Plus grew faster than they were prepared to build infrastructure for, and they've been forced to build the infrastructure faster than their roadmap had planned out. But you know, Disney has a lot of content that a lot of people want. I haven't been enticed to that direction.
No.
It's one of the few mainstreams that I don't have.
Same. Yeah, I don't have it either.
But, you know, I can understand why people would. You know, certainly the Marvel shows have a lot of draw. The fact that a couple of the most recent movies have gone there instead of, or, you know, in lieu of, or in addition to theatrical releases, as we talked about a lawsuit a couple of weeks ago with Scarlett Johansson.
Right.
So, you know, that has helped them with their growth. It's caused some problems too, but it's impressive that they've gotten there so fast.
Well, also to add into, because of the global pandemic, a lot of people are streaming from home.
Yeah, and people have run through their Netflix queues, their Hulu queues, their Amazon Prime queues. That's not me at all.
I'm almost done with my queues.
I don't have Netflix, Hulu, Paramount, Peacock, Amazon Prime, and struggling to find new things to watch on any of them. No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't think Disney Plus. Well, I don't have Disney Plus either, because a lot of the content. If my daughter was younger, then obviously, yeah, that's a given. But even still, I would have to cringe.
I haven't fallen into that nostalgia hole that a lot of people have gone down. I don't find the need to watch kids programming in that way. I know a lot of people, even in my own circle, do a lot of that. I don't find myself feeling that need to go back and watch old Disney stuff. I wasn't that into it when it was new. And the nostalgia is not all that strong. Right. I've got on DVD the two that I would care about, The Lion King and Aladdin. So I don't need.
Ditto. Yep. Same here.
Anyway, but I mean, obviously enough people are into it that they grew way faster than their roadmap. So,
and there's some people that they still act like a 2-year-old.
Well, that's a different issue,
right? and still watch them, and still they're still like they're like a 2-year-old. But that's
we're not talking about. Nope, I'm not going to say it. Never mind.
Nope, right? Nope. Yep. All right, and finally this week.
Nope, you can't do that.
What?
We got a story that was in our tease and in the episode title that we've got to deal with. We got to talk about Reddit.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I totally. Oh, you know what? I
skipped over it. I wasn't going to let you miss it.
All right. I'm sorry. I skipped it.
So, okay.
My fault.
I'll take this one.
Go for it.
Reddit, which we all know has called themselves the front page of the internet for a long time, even though I don't know a whole lot of people that spend a lot of time there. They say that they are now valued at $10 billion. This is following their most recent raise of 410 million, which is a lot of money. And the final round is expected to grow up to 700 million. The company continues to build and sanitize its business, removing what they consider to be racist, misogynistic, and otherwise controversial communities, as it prepares to go public at some point in the future, which is the company is forever old. The idea of going public now is strange to me. Co-founder and CEO Steve Huffman said in an interview, "We're still planning on, but we don't have a firm timeline there yet. All good companies should go public when they can." I don't agree with that at all. Anyway, the company previously raised $250 million in funding earlier this year, bringing the valuation to $6 billion. But Huffman told the Times the company was approached with this recent financing round, your fault, by Fidelity Investments, and were made an offer they couldn't refuse. So
sounds like a line from the.
I was gonna make a Cuomo mafia joke. Anyway, the company says it made $100 million in advertising revenue in the second quarter of 2021, which is up 192% compared to the same period last year. I will point out that all of these numbers make me feel very much the way John Worm from our show used to feel when Twitter used to get these large sums of money without a business plan or any real revenue. And the way I continue to feel when Uber does the same thing. Reddit now has roughly 52 million daily users compared to 1.85 billion daily Facebook users and more than 100,000 active subreddits. Earlier this year, the company said it planned to double its staff by the end of 2021 to around 1,400 employees. What 1,400 employees could possibly have to do at a company like this is beyond me. Huffman told the Times the new funding would be used to make the site easier for first-time users and help its communities expand internationally. Now, that's a good thing because Reddit's user interface is abysmal.
It still is.
It definitely still feels like it was built in 1996. Somehow, even 4chan feels more modern than Reddit. Congratulations. The infrastructure is bad. I cannot believe that anybody spends any usable amount of time there. I keep being told that it would be a great way to market our shows, and I don't care. I will take the loss, because if I can't automate Reddit away, I'm not doing it, because I can't spend any time there and feel okay with myself as a UX person.
And here's the thing, it's not, and I'm glad you picked up on, because I told it why I put it in our rundown for some reason.
And
why
in the title,
and in the title, this is why I get. This is the most unusual episode.
Friday the 13th.
Exactly. Oh, I love it. This is why I love this love this. I love this podcast in so many different shapes and forms. I love it.
Yeah.
There's
no telling how something's going to go.
Right. It can go great and then right straight through to the end. And there's other
go off the rails.
where it goes off the rails. Exactly.
At least there's no full moon tonight. So
right.
No solar flares.
Right. And I don't see any cats walking by, or my cat. So
close up any ladders you might have around the house.
Cover
mirrors.
Cover mirrors. Get the salt out. Make sure. Okay. Now that I've composed myself a little bit.
Have you though?
Right. So the whole question is this, with Reddit, and this they've been with Robinhood. They've been Reddit's been like, people been on Reddit about Robinhood, and posting their stock tips and what have you. But prior to Robinhood, this is like a glorified message board, basically, that you can find anywhere.
There's nothing special about it,
right? Except
that there are channels to said forum. It's a 1978 bulletin board system,
right? Yahoo has those channels too.
Well, do they?
Well,
does Yahoo still have them? I don't think they do, because I think Groups was the last version of that.
I'm thinking of Groups. Dead. I think about Groups. You're right.
And they shut that down about 6 months ago.
Right. But even still, though, again, it's a glorified message board that's worth $10 billion. How does it, like, I don't get, like, I'm not like into stocks. We don't want to promote, stocks or invest it, because it's, it's basically, it's a gamble, when you're going to invest in something. But to have them put in that much in it, I mean, you can, like, clean up the site, and that's, I mean, any site, when people post things, it's like, Twitter or anything like that. That's a given. But I just don't see the need. I'm never on Reddit. I've been on it maybe once, I think, but that's about it.
I can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to Reddit just now. On the front page of the internet, we have your username is now a store. What do you sell? A retweet of a tweet about who cares what. Let's see. Something about Samsung, a live video of a guy with way too many drums, Babe Ruth posing with fans at a game, and the one that I was staring weirdly at while you were talking, if people are watching and I was making faces, it is because there are two men in, let's call it a church, but it's definitely a weird basement with a cross on the wall, two electric guitars, one man in a leather vest over top of a jean denim t-shirt or a denim button-down shirt with his hand in the air while a very large man who is covered in chains tries to rip them off of particle board.
Okay.
What? What about any of this is supposed to be enticing? Here's a photo of a child with a gun. Somebody with their hand around a cat's neck, although I don't think it's supposed to be as creepy as it is. Here's another tweet screenshot. Something about Amazon.
Wait, I got a couple.
Oh, good. Go.
John
Zip off
Favreau.
pants. There's zip off pants. I can't believe these things still exist. Continue. I had to get that one out.
Good God. Okay. John Favreau making a grilled cheese sandwich in the scene from his movie Chef is the most delicious looking thing I've ever seen. And let me see, where's the other one? I'll respect your pronouns when you respect my religion.
That is a fascinating deal to propose.
And wait, and here's the last one because we're going to be going off all night. Another 2 hours for this episode. The last one we're going to do, and this is for our episode, is today Friday the 13th. Oh my goodness.
I stupid ideas.
You just froze up.
Oh, am I back now?
You're back now.
Am I back?
You just froze. Okay. Yeah, you're back.
So I prototype stupid ideas. Today I made a zip-off bathing suit with towel pant legs.
And this is people that are watching and listening. They're valuing
$10 billion.
Yep. I think this is going to be the next. This is going to be, what are these people? This is going to be the next. This is going to be part 2. This is going to be part 2, and when we definitely do our end of year episode, this is going to be this is going to be in that top 5 or top 10. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay. I don't know what that was. It was horrifying, and I've had to close the website. Oh geez. Okay. Well, we don't want to scare you anymore. Okay. Well, speaking of being scared, I guess finally this week. Now you may or may not know about these TikTok challenges. There is the unlock it, lock it challenge, the trick challenge, or the I hate all men TikTok challenge. And yes,
I have to tell you that middle one, I'm definitely going to clip out and make into your ringtone.
Okay.
The ya trick ya challenge.
Trick ya.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you say that when you call me. That's gonna be it.
I like it. So now it's the frozen honey challenge. It's basically what the challenge is: freezing a water bottle full of honey, then squeezing the contents out so as long as somewhat a solid looking shaft of golden honey ooze out of the top before take a bite. This trend exploded across the app. Thousands of videos have been made. The hashtag frozen honey has been viewed nearly 600 million times, and the hashtag frozen honey challenge has been viewed more than 80 million times. There's some people that mix honey with corn syrup to make the honey less dense. There are others have made their own concoctions of corn syrup and candy, which when frozen has a similar texture to chilled honey. Did not know that. Some people on TikTok claim that after they try the honey...
How would you know? It's so weird. How do they know?
Right, which I had no idea there was a texture to that. There's some people on TikTok claiming that after they tried the honey, they felt sick or running for the bathroom with diarrhea. No crap.
No, lots of.
Right. One user wrote beneath a video of herself trying a trend, "I feel sick now." Another one joked, "Be right back. Gotta get my stomach pumped." Part of the issue is, this is from experts are saying that there's saying this. Part of the issue is just how much honey that people are consuming. It's not a health concern. It's eating a fifth or more of a bottle can be sugar overload. Kristen Kirkpatrick, a registered dietitian at a Cleveland Clinic, says, quote, "Honey is great, but having it in small amounts to sweeten is really a healthy relationship with food, and using it to get a lot of followers and a lot of attention and having excess amounts is crazy." Duh. Right.
Doesn't feel like the kind of thing you have to tell somebody.
Right. So if you know
these
young
days,
people,
you have to let everybody know not to iron clothes while wearing them. So,
right. Right. So if you know someone that's a young person who's interested in doing this, please think twice. Experts are warning, as they could experience diarrhea, stomach cramping, bloating, and other adverse effects.
I've got a better warning. I've got a better warning for people. TikTok challenges are almost always dangerous.
Right. There's a Tide Pod challenge.
We have these things happen far too frequently. They're either dangerous or inappropriate. And that's the point of them, it seems, half the time, is to either be dangerous or inappropriate. Take your underwear off without taking your shorts off thing. Well, that's unbelievably unacceptable and inappropriate. Because we know what whoever created that was trying to do.
Right. Yeah, please. And if you're
in this case, we all know that a block of 4 ounces of honey is no good. That's so unhealthy. Your body is going to freak out.
It's going to say what?
Don't try and eat a spoonful of cinnamon. Don't try and eat a quarter of a bottle of frozen honey. Stop being dumb.
Please don't. It's not. You can hurt yourself, and God knows your future generations is going to hurt as well. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, please don't. There's a public service announcement from me, Scott, and pretty much everybody.
Anybody capable of full thought.
Exactly. Well said. All right. And with that, that is the tech news for this week, for Friday. And I put in the docs the 6th. It's Friday, August 13th, 2021. Thank you so much for tuning in for this week's episode. Show notes from this episode can be found at gncweekly.com. Also, be sure to check out the latest tech news and commentary from geeknewscentral.com. And be sure to tune in Mondays and Thursday evenings at geeknewscentral.com/live for the Geek News Central podcast. And then be sure to watch and tune in at gncweekly.com/live Friday evenings, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So please be sure to like and subscribe to the GNCWIR channel on YouTube. Also, please be sure to click on the bell and always select notifications so you will not miss the next episode. Also, be sure to share this episode with people you know so they can check out the podcast also. Also, be sure to subscribe to this podcast on your favorite podcast app. And be sure to tune in to F5 Refreshing Technology with Scott and Abram Pilch Sunday evenings at 9 p.m. Eastern Time at f5live.tv/join us. Or be sure to subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you have a comment on this week's episode, we would love to hear from them. Head on over to gncweekly.com/connect and connect via email, Twitter, or Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm at Kirk Corliss. Scott is on Twitter at TTMABO. Till the next episode of GNC Week in Review. So long.
Ciao.